All right. Hello, everyone. How are you?
Good. How are you, Kim?
Just great. Welcome, everyone, to this part 3 of Lunch and Learn today. And of course, we are doing the Home Sewn series. And, week 1, we actually talked about, kind of the inspiration behind it and such. We got to meet the digitizer, Jeanette. It's not too late to go back and watch that. It was really fascinating. Week 2, I got to talk to Jenny, who, we bounced ideas on how to decorate your home with these projects. And now I get week 3 with Cassity. I don't know how many of you have met Cassity quite yet. You've been on a few times.
Occasionally.
A little bit. Why don't you go ahead and tell everyone what you do here at Kimberbell?
Hi. So I'm, as Kim said, I'm Cassity. I am the product manager over feature quilts and also over some of our regular product. I helped oversee Home Sewn start to finish, all 4 volumes.
Yeah.
And
that was quite the feat.
It was, but it was so fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was an incredible project.
Oh my gosh. Well, we'll talk a little bit more about that here in just a moment. And so Cassie's going to join me the first half of today, and then the second half I get to teach Robert. Oh, yes, you remember Robert. He's been sewing along with us for the first 2 episodes. He's actually done. And Robert, he's our CEO here at Kimberbell. We love him. And he is going to come on and finish his first tiling scene. That's going to be kind of fun.
I'm excited for him.
Yeah. So who do we have joining us today? Let's go ahead and welcome you in. It looks like we've got... Let's see. Here we go. Dee just says, hello, Kim, Cassity, and everyone. That's so sweet of you, Dee. And
Dee got my spelling right on my name. That's impressive.
That is impressive. Absolutely. You probably get it spelled a lot of different ways, don't you? It looks like we've got Renelle from Wisconsin and Carla from Idaho, Lori from Colorado, and Eva from South Carolina. Who else do we have?
Florida. We've got Linda from South Dakota. Hello from New Mexico from Cheryl.
Yeah.
And so many amazing places our Bellas are from.
Canada, Sacramento. I mean, you name it. They're all over the place. And, you're here because hopefully you're really excited about Home Sewn. And if you haven't picked this up yet, it is not too late. Of course, you can find it at your local quilt shop, your favorite quilt shop online, or even at kimberbell.com. So today, let's do a quick review of the Home Sewn collection. The first one is out now. This is volume 1, and it covers April, May, and June. Then we're going to actually show you the rest of the whole series.
I'm so excited, Kim.
So cool. Okay, so just as a quick recap, if you are new to here and you're like, what is Home Sewn? What is this? Cassity, tell us in like a nutshell, 30 seconds, what is Home Sewn?
Home Sewn is a series of tiling scenes. We have 12 designs, 1 for each month. It is sold in 4 volumes with 3 designs each. So starting with April in volume 1 and then moving
Let's show how cute
to March in volume.
Okay, this is 4. April right here. Let's take a closer look at that. All the cute little details. This is the one that actually Robert has been sewing out or embroidering out, I should say, behind the scenes. And it just screams happiness. It screams spring. It's a little nod to Easter. And it's just really a beautiful thing to brighten your home. So that's April. May, we've got, let's see, where is May? Where did you go, May? Maybe we don't have May.
May's behind here.
Oh, May is back here. Okay, right here.
Oh, May's right here.
Oh, and May is right here. Here we go.
So we can show it here.
Now you can see it on the little tabletop stand that you can also be able to purchase. But May, again, April showers bring May flowers. So we got lots of pots of flowers in there. We've got the birdhouse. We've got the bees and the birds all buzzing in the air there. That is just as sweet as could be. And then, of course, June. Now, June, of course, are for those who love to go to the great outdoors, or you know what, you just think it would be cool to be in the great outdoors, like myself. And there are two things, if anyone doesn't know this already, there are two things, Cassidy, that brings all the tiles together. What are they?
The sewing machine in the window and the home aspect.
Yes, yes. And definitely all those little mini quilts too. They're little nods to Kimberbell past projects. And now we've got them miniaturized and hanging on every single one of these tiling scenes. So yeah, the sewing machine, of course, we all love to sew. It's what brings us together, all the things. So Cassie, give us just a little background as to what went into making these tiling scenes. Maybe something that our audience doesn't know about yet. Something interesting. What do you think?
One thing that I just want to highlight is the magic in the artwork that happened. And I'm praising you a lot, Kim.
Thank you.
But I just loved how this series specifically told a story.
Yeah.
And it transports you to a new place with your favorite thing. So everyone is a standalone product. Like, this is beautiful by itself, but then as a series, they all are sister projects that work together as a whole that you can change out.
Yeah.
And I just honestly think it's magic. It's like it's telling a story of all of the projects we've done in so many different spaces of our lives.
You know what? That is so true. Definitely. I think each one does tell a story. I especially like, we're going to show you this here a little bit later, but I'm just giving you a little heads up that come December, I think a lot of you are going to go, oh my goodness, that is so me, right? That is so me. So you'll see what I'm talking about here in just a moment. But yeah, I think it does certainly bring us all together with that love of sewing, no matter where we are doing it at, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Tell us a little bit about the process of choosing the embellishments, because that's a whole nother thing in and of itself, right?
Yes. And so I love at Kimberbell how we try to offer embellishments that you might not necessarily be able to source in your local craft shop. We try to supply our shops with good materials so that when we're looking at the Kimberbell designs, we can match to it. Or it's also been cool to see all the crafty approaches everyone's had.
Sure.
So some of our embellishments that came out with the Volume 1 release were really cool standalone things that you can use for this project and many others.
Yeah. So we're selling them on a roll this time. Instead of just having a little piece in your embellishment kit, there are actually rolls of this type of product available.
For example, this moss green micro velvet, so many cool places you can use this, not just for this project, but for other projects as well.
So you used it here in the tree, right? Yep. But then, I mean, imagine putting that
for grass.
Oh yeah.
Great texture for grass. Or it's really cool because it has a soft texture to it.
Yeah.
It gives that velveteen feel. But I remember when we started to source micro velvet.
Yeah.
And the cool thing about this is that it doesn't fray.
Exactly. That's the key right there, isn't it?
Yes. The quality is so nice on these for sewing.
Yeah, I would absolutely agree. So micro velvet, we got the moss green that is available on its own. Okay,
and then we've got the azalea pink.
Ooh,
and
that's where we used it on the cute little rain boots right there. Let's take a closer look at those rain boots. Oh yes. You got to have the micro velvet, right? What color is that called?
Azalea.
Azalea. Ooh, I like it. Okay. Tell us, I mean, that would be so darling for other floral appliques.
Absolutely.
Valentine's, you name it.
I love the idea of Valentine's for that. So cute.
Yeah. All right.
And then we have offer 2 felts.
Okay.
So we're offering pink parasol. And you can see it there.
We use that on the umbrella right there. Okay.
And then we offer the ice blue.
And we use that right here on the river. Okay.
And one thing that I just want to highlight as a PM at Kimberbell is so much thought goes into the colors that we release.
Yeah.
We are looking at swatches. We're seeing how it balances with your project, with the materials we've selected, and just quality control, all the things. And I'm so excited not only for these embellishment releases with volume 1, but the ones to come.
Yeah, definitely. Now, speaking of embellishments, there is an embellishment kit that is available. And Cassidy, why don't you go ahead and show us once again what's in it, what's not in it, and a little update on one of the panels there as well.
Yeah, for sure. So we have the embellishment releases. What's cool with Home Sewn is we're encouraging you to source materials. We offer embellishments that can help you along with your product, but our mini quilts that tie it all together are offered in an embellishment kit.
Yeah.
So it has twine, clips, and then the 12 mini quilts.
I'm gonna go ahead and open this up.
Yes.
All right.
These are offered on a custom print panel.
Yes.
And what I love is that and we have covered this for past,
Right here.
we have covered this before, but let's cover it again. These are past projects that you may have done in your own, on your own, or may be looking forward to.
Yeah. Each time I see one of these panels, I squeal and I go, oh my gosh, I remember when we made this or we did that, or that's hanging up in my home right now. And now you can have it in a very little miniature version, which is always so cute.
Yep. And I just love how these printed out. One thing that I do want to highlight though, and I just think these details are so important, and we appreciate our Bellas bringing it to our attention.
Absolutely.
Our American flag had a little bit of an error in printing. The stripe underneath the blue, the stars, it is red and it is supposed to be white.
Yeah. So we apologize for that oversight. There was, we have the utmost respect for our country. And so we want to make it right. And so we do have a form that we'll put a link to here that if you would like to have a replacement panel for that flag, it's just going to be the USA flag, as well as we wanted to do a small update to the UK flag. If you need one of those replacements and would like that to be part of your quilt, and that doesn't even come out, I mean, you won't be doing it for a few months, but we want to get you on the list now. We are happy to replace that for you at no charge. We will pay for the shipping and everything. So we apologize for that. If it was purchased, if this kit was purchased in recent months, then you'll want to, and you want to actually get a replacement for that, we are happy to do that. We have now replaced that in the kits coming out, and so that may already be taken care of for you. But just know there is a form for you to fill out. Once again, we'll put a link here in the notes. We'll get that to you in the next coming months, or a month or so, just in time for you to be able to place that onto your July scene.
Yes.
All right.
So that will be with volume 2.
Yeah, definitely. So speaking of volume 2, now's the perfect time to talk about what is in volume 2 and even 3.
I'm
and
so
even
excited.
4. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's do it. So we went through April, May, June. Now is July, which that's where you will want your flag. And here we go. Let's take a closer look at that. We did talk about this for just a moment in our first Lunch and Learn, but here it is again in all its glory, right? But we've got the farm-looking house here. We've got the fireworks in the night sky. We have a little nod to an upcoming quilt. No one has seen this yet in person, but this is the brand new Sippin' on Sunshine. It just screams summer, and that's going to hang there off the porch. We've got the little barbecue going on here. We've got a patch of strawberries. There's just so many fun elements to this. Of course, the fireworks in the sky too. All of this quilting, by the way, is included in these designs already, so you don't have to make that as a separate purchase. But here is the flagpole, and so if you are from the US, Canada, or the UK, you do have options for that flag, and it is just too cute, isn't it?
Yeah. I don't think I've ever told you this, but this house structure,
yes,
looks just like my childhood home.
No way. Okay, you bring up a really good point there, because I think a lot of people out there who have been making this, it's almost like there's these little snippets of something that brings back a childhood memory.
Yes.
So for you, it was this home.
Yeah, it was crazy. My house
love
has the wraparound porch like that.
Yes.
And so
Okay.
it was kind of fun to see it come through.
I love that. Even Robert was saying the other day, he noticed that someone said, you know what, I'm going to put a red door on this house because their door was red. So it's just like those little things, right, that point out. Or I'll have to ask him when he comes on, but there was a story that he mentioned to me about seeing the goose and how it reminded him maybe of his grandmother or something. He'll tell us the story when he comes on. But anyway, if you have like a little something that has stood out to you so far in these Home Sewn series, we'd love to hear it in the comments, because that is kind of fun to take a look at this and go, ooh, how can I either change the color or add maybe a little daub to the scene or something to personalize it for you.
There's just such a neat sentimental theme to all of these designs.
And then, of course, you've got the fireworks going off in the background, but upstairs, there is one light on in that house right here. And it's, of course, the sewing machine happening, because, that's happening all hours of the day, right?
Awake with the project.
That's right. Okay, so here's July. Let's look at August. Oh my gosh. August has to be one of my top favorites.
Agreed.
It's between August and December for me, but let's take a closer look at August. Yes, this is my dream, to sew on the beach. I may not surf, I may not, lay out on the beach, but you know what? If I had my sewing machine, I absolutely would be doing that. So in this cute little hut, of course, we got the sewing machine in the window. Tell us about the little quilt hanging down here.
So right here we have Vintage Boardwalk, which is one of our all-time classic Kimberbell quilts. It takes you to the beach. And so it was so much fun to call back to that.
Yeah.
One thing that I just love about this is how many of you guys go to a place where you're inspired?
Yeah.
And you're not necessarily working on your project, but it's in your mind. This reminds me of the beach because it's such a magical place. And you might not necessarily be sewing at the beach, but you're thinking about it.
We know you're thinking about it.
And thinking of projects like Vintage Boardwalk,
sure,
where you're going to go home and carry that feel into your house all year around.
Yeah. I love that. Even like the little details on here. Let's see if we can get a closer look at some of these details. The stitching on the sun, I mean, how many renditions, as a PD, how many renditions did that sun go through?
It went through 2 or 3, I think.
Yeah.
The one thing that I just thought was incredible with our digitizing, and I'm so glad we featured Jeanette, is the surfboard.
Yes. Okay.
So the surfboard, that is
Let's bring it out here.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Perfect.
We're going to get a closer look.
That is all a fill stitch.
Yeah.
And we looked at that several times where we said, okay, we're overlapping several different places over the tree, over the beach, and over the sky. And we need those fill stitches to be the perfect depth so that we don't see through that surfboard and see the fabric underneath. And we scratched our heads and we were like, I don't know if we can accomplish this. Like, what do we do? And Jeanette literally came to us on Stitch Out 3 and was like, I have one more idea. And it came through perfect. Like absolutely perfect with a pattern and the stitching. It was incredible. Like the digitizing, Jeanette is so experienced and it just shines with this project.
Yeah, it really does. I'm noticing your comments. I just love them because you are being inspired by so many of the themes on here. Someone mentioned earlier, and oh, here we go, Janet. She says, I think I will add the red door to each house because I have a red house. Thanks for the idea. Oh, I'm so glad.
Oh, I love that.
So glad to hear that. And, this one from, let's see, Mary Ellen says, I grew up near the beach, spent summer days there, such good memories. So yeah, I think like each of these themes we can relate relate to in some way or the other, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, absolutely, darling. I love the background quilting, has some seashells and such on it.
Oh,
Just really, really cute. I love the straw roof here.
that is
tell us about that.
That is an embellishment to come.
Uh-huh.
And it is perfect for machine embroidery. We have a few projects with this in 2026 and we've tested it through, and this is, you want to buy the Kimberbell one. It just adds so much fun detail.
Adds a lot of texture to it for sure. Okay, let's look at September then.
Yeah.
This is all again in volume 2.
Yeah.
All right. So here we go. Here's September. And here we've got, the little pebble road up to the schoolhouse here. We've got, of course, the sewing machine in the window. And we've got this little mini quilt. Go ahead and tell us about that.
Okay, so this is Falling for Autumn.
It is.
And I love this one. We are bringing back 40 by 40 quilts with Enchanted Winter, but it was one of the last that we had done for a while before doing ladder quilts. And it is just so perfect for this time in autumn. I love all the details, like the truck on it and the pumpkins, the white pumpkin.
Someone mentioned the tire swing. She loves the tire swing. And the stitching on that looks like real tread on a tire.
Yes.
That's so cute.
They really, because we're doing so many stitches in these projects, we're able to experiment with their fill stitches and the digitizing and creating depth with the same thread color, which is so cool.
Yeah.
One other thing that I just was thinking about as we're going through this, with offering 12 months, we're able to show the different feel of the seasons.
Yeah.
Like the early season bright fall is just depicted so well in the September scene.
Yeah.
And you'll kind of see as like autumn evolves with our different months, the different like holidays and feelings that are portrayed in the artwork.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so now you've all seen volume 2, and this is kind of a second run through of it because you may have seen it in our first Lunch and Learn. Now, are you ready for volume 3? This is perhaps my favorite volume because, the holidays, of course. And the good news is our team finished stitching out the samples when? Yesterday?
Yesterday.
This
is hot off the press.
You guys, I haven't even seen the finished part ones yet.
Yeah, and I snuck a peek yesterday, and they took my breath away, guys. Like,
you guys, are you ready? Hold on to your seats because you're gonna die. They're so cute. Let's do it. Let's do. Let's see, October. Okay. Here we go. Tell us about October.
Okay, so this is our spooky Halloween scene.
Oh,
we feature pumpkins and potions, and that was actually the first quilt I ever PM'd, Kim.
Is it?
Pumpkins and
is
potions.
That right?
So that was kind of fun to see that come through. We've got a cute little witch flying over the moon.
Oh.
These bats and potions in the window, the little details. It's just so fun. We've got a little cauldron, all sorts of activity happening in this house.
Oh, yeah. Tell us about this, the ground.
Yes.
Because I know you can't probably tell through the camera, but let me tell you, in person, it's amazing. Tell us about it.
So this is a black micro velvet that we'll be releasing with volume 3.
Okay.
It has a soft texture. And then what is so cool is the quilting over the micro velvet. And I'm not sure how much the cameras are picking up.
Yeah. But
what is so cool about this specific one was we were experimenting with our dark values. So what is the difference in texture between using a thread or using a micro velvet? And how can we communicate that in the artwork? You can see we've got a subtle little fence in the background in the distance. And just all of these details in the tree. It was crazy playing with those darker values and presenting that to our testers and being like, we're going to see how this stitches out and how this communicates from from paper to
Yeah.
actual stitch outs.
Yeah, and there's definitely a difference in between those times, isn't there? So this is amazing. I'm dying over the ladder quilt that's hanging from the tree. There are so many cute details about this. This little ghost here, of course, you may recognize this house from Hoop Studio, right? Yeah, Hoop Studio had this house in as a three-dimensional house as part of their Halloween village. And so I knew it had to go into here as well, right?
Yeah.
This ghost, tell us about the texture on that ghost.
Oh, okay, so that is another really cool embellishment that's coming out. That is a shimmer leather, actually.
My gosh.
And
oh my gosh, you're going to see a lot more of that in December's.
Yes, stay tuned. We're featuring it a few times in this volume, and it's gorgeous. It's not too overpowering, but it just gives that extra sheen.
It's a leather glitter combo. Amazing gorgeousness.
Just
how's that?
Fun embellishments that we've sourced.
Yeah. Okay. Now, if you're not quite into the Halloween scene, that's okay, because I feel like November can cover both months.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So talk to us about, let's see, November.
Yep. And you can also, just going back, you've got September too. You can make September more look like it's deeper into fall.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
So we offer so many autumn varieties here.
For sure.
Okay, so November, this is one of my favorite, Kim, because we had a little bit of a different approach than we've done with any other tiling scene.
Yeah.
With the quilting.
Okay, tell us about that.
So we offer quilting. It is part of your design files. With November, we do our applique, and then we do quilting over top.
Let me tell you, you guys, I don't know how well you can see the wind blowing there, but that quilting is phenomenal.
So it goes over our sky, and it continues on down over to the grass. Finding a quilting color that blended was really fun. But what I like about it is if you want to go more vibrant, you could give it a snow feel almost.
Oh, sure.
Like an early snow, like a whiter color.
Ooh.
Kind of experiment with that. But it just creates a fun texture that we haven't seen before, with it going over the design rather than under it like we traditionally see it.
Yeah. You know, when I was designing this one, it made me think of a time when my husband and I went out to Boston, and we went on this road trip where we went into the back country. If you've ever been back east in the fall, or some of you are from there, it is like the most amazing scenery with the fall leaves and such. And I would see these salt box houses everywhere. You've got, of course, the front porch over here on the side, and then you've got the roof line that comes down. And this just made me think of that trip in the fall. But it also made me think of, obviously Thanksgiving. So there's a pie in the kitchen window, and a lot of us also sew in our dining room or our kitchen table and such. So that's why the sewing machine and the pie are together in that kitchen window.
Yeah, I used to live back east, Kim, and you took me right back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that inspiration. It's beautiful.
For sure. Just lots of rolling hills, lots of changing leaves, lots of like apple cider mills. Oh, it was amazing. So this little guy here comes from our mini quilts for November, and it's got, of course, the pie, the turkey, and such. So anyway, very fun. Someone mentioned on here, I saw they're squealing at the little squirrel right there. Yeah, all the little details. That squirrel is pretty sweet, isn't he?
Such fun. And the mushrooms on this, little toadstools. Those are so cute with the pumpkins.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. Are you ready to see my absolute favorite? Not only was it a favorite to design, but when Cassity put her magic as the PD and chose all the extra embellishments and different themes, I went bonkers because between her vision of it and, of course, the digitizing with Jeanette, it turned out more amazing than I ever could imagine. Let's take a look at it.
It just was magic.
Okay, let's talk about this. All right, so let's pull this out right here. Here we go. All right, so this is the thinking behind it. It is Christmas Eve. It is, everyone is asleep, right? Except there is one window in this home that still has the light on. What is it? Of course, it's the window upstairs in a little sewing room or bedroom. All the lights in the house are out. The tree is still sparkling, twinkling. But that one window, oh yes, the sewing machine, because how many of you can relate to Christmas Eve? There's late night sewing on Christmas Eve. Yep, absolutely. That you're the one up still sewing all those last minute projects. That's the inspiration behind the December one as well. Tell us a little bit more about this.
Okay, so I first want to highlight just that shimmer leather that we have on the snow that creates depth. So we've got it paired with some white fabric, and it just kind of almost conveys a quiet December night.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have this glitter over the car, and it looks like it's covered in frost.
Yes. When you chose that embellishment, I just lost my mind. I hadn't seen this one before. It's brand new, and you captured that look so well with that.
Thank you, Kim.
Yeah.
Just paired with the shimmer leather, it looks like a quiet night with ice crystals everywhere.
Gail says, pulled many all-nighters on Christmas Eve to finish up gifts.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
Gotta love when you're right up to the deadline.
Carolyn says, yes, for years, saying I'll get finished before December 24th. But yeah, I absolutely love that. Now, of course, the quilt that's hanging from here is Cup of Cheer. How many of you guys have that quilt? If you haven't done it yet, good news. You don't have to. It's right here. You don't have to stitch that thing. No, you'll want to stitch the original for sure because it's too stinking cute. But yeah, absolutely, we needed to hang a Cup of Cheer for sure. And like you mentioned, we've got the leather glitter combo here as well, and it is just too cute. Now, we also have good news for those who don't celebrate Christmas, but rather Hanukkah. We do have another version for you. Did we bring that with us?
We don't have it on us.
Okay.
But it is beautiful. You'll have to stay tuned.
Yeah.
Keep following us.
Yeah.
We will definitely make sure you get it.
Take a look at it.
Yeah.
But basically, on the one for Hanukkah, there's the menorah in the window instead of the Christmas tree.
Yep.
Right?
And the gifts on top of the car are recolorized to be more of a
yellow
blue.
And blue.
Mm-hmm. And we are including the wreath on top.
Yeah.
One other thing I want to feature just about this December is the Mylar.
Oh, yes. Tell us about that.
So when the artwork came through, the smoke coming out of the chimney had a translucent feel in the artwork, and we're like, how do we convey this?
Mm-hmm.
And let's tilt it. It's so cool how the Mylar.
Oh, yes.
Yes. It has a warm feeling. And it sometimes reflects off the building. It's so fun to see how those materials interact. And I just feel like it gives that warmth to the whole scene of it might be cold outside, but we're cozy inside getting our project done.
There you go. I love that. Very, very fun. Penny says, thank you for the Hanukkah version. You are so welcome. Happy to do that. This was a fun one. Good call on using that Mylar to really give that shimmer to the smoke. That's awesome. Okay, so now we're through with volume 3. Mm-hmm. Volume 4 is not stitched out quite yet. It's in the middle of product development, but I just happen to have a few pictures here of the digital renditions of it. So let's go ahead and show you that. The next volume, volume 4, is actually January, February, and March. So there you can see we've got a snow scene for January with a lodge or a cabin. The sewing machine is up in that upstairs window because personally, I'd rather be sewing and skiing, but all the rest of my family can be out there freezing cold, right? And then we've got February's there with a little nod to love notes as the mini quilt. And we've got that hanging between the two neighbor houses that love each other, right? And then March was inspired by a trip I had recently made to Ireland, where again, you're out in the countryside and you're seeing, you know, the cows and the sheep and such. But I didn't want it to necessarily have like leprechauns to think of March. I wanted it just to be a little more subtle. So we've got bicycles and clovers, and the kitchen has a little sewing machine in there and such, kites. So there's the little nod to St. Patrick's Day with the March version. But you know, it is one thing to see it in digital artwork, and it's a whole nother thing, as we know, to see it digitized, and with you having made all those fabric choices and such. Oh, there, look, you can see the Canada version right there in that one. That's pretty cool. Here I'm just showing you a few images that our amazing photographer Maria did to show off all of these upcoming scenes. So there you have it. Who is excited about volumes 2, 3, and 4? We all are, definitely. All right, everyone. Well, Cassity, thank you so much for being my guest this first half.
Yeah.
It's really fun to see, you know, a little bit of your hear a little bit of your take on what happened behind the scenes. And so I appreciate you sharing all of that.
Yeah, thank you.
You're amazing for sure. Everyone give a big thank you to Cassity for all of her hard work on pulling this off. Again, she sees it from A to Z, and I bet you're sensing a little sigh of relief these days, right?
Yeah, it's bittersweet for sure.
Yeah, definitely. All right, everyone. Well, here we go. Are you ready for Robert Pombo to come on? Yes, he is our CEO, but you know what? He also loves machine embroidery in all his spare time. Don't know when that is, but he does do a little bit of that too. And so he's been sewing along, embroidering along with us every week during these Lunch and Learns. And now he's done and he's ready to put this tiling scene together. So we're going to do it together. As you head off, I'm going to bring Robert on. And in the meantime, let's take a look at a video I believe we have of what is included in volume 2. Let's take a look. All right, everyone, what do you think? So excited. Okay, Robert, welcome on to the set. It's kind of nice to have you here instead of in the other room.
I try to go back and forth in the camera.
Yeah. And the good news is he is now finished with sewing all 6 tiles.
Yes, I've been busy catching up and sewing the last 3.
Why don't you tell everyone how many machines you had going on yesterday at Kimberbell to get this finished up, because you had a deadline to hit, which was today.
A UFO was not an option for me.
No.
I committed to having them done before today.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I'm very lucky that I have access to a lot of machines in our product development lab. And so I had 3 machines going at once, and I was in a rolling chair sliding back and forth.
I wish I had seen that.
Yeah,
we should have totally taken a video of that.
And then, I mean, It went well. It didn't go perfectly.
Yeah.
So I have to thank
3
our product
machines.
development team for helping me out on that.
3 machines at the same time. Holy moly.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
It was
That's a
fun,
lot.
though. It was a
Oh
lot of
my
fun.
gosh. But you got it finished. And
Yep.
thankfully, because today I'm going to show him how easy it is and a few tips along the way on putting these tiling scenes together. And then, of course, we're going to do a giveaway. Right?
Oh, absolutely.
Of
I
course.
have to.
So stay tuned for all of it. Of course, I do have a little video that is available separately. If you just want to take a look at that when you get a chance, it'll go into probably a little bit more detail than what we're going to do today. It's a video about, hey, you're done with your tiling scene tiles, but now we've got to sew them together. So I give you some tips and tricks from our product development team on that. And I'm going to share some highlights of that with you today. So you mentioned, though, real quick, the goose.
Right.
What did it remind you of?
So the goose has this, the bunny ears.
Yes.
It's wearing bunny ears and they're kind of flopped over on the top. So my Uncle Gene passed away when I was, I think, about 2 years old.
Okay.
And so all of my memories of Uncle Gene come through stories and photos.
Oh, sure.
And one photo that's always been up in my parents' house is Uncle Gene wearing this. It's like almost like a baseball cap.
Yeah.
But it has bunny ears on it. And then it had strings that when you pulled them, the bunny ears bent over like this.
Oh.
So that I mean, every time I look at the goose, I think about that photo and that memory.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that because it's just that little snippet.
And it's such
that
a
takes you
small
back.
little element in the whole thing. Yeah.
Mhm. But it reminds you of that.
Yep.
That's awesome. All right, everyone, are you ready? And of course, if you have questions along the way, I'm here to help. So chime in if you get a chance. But let's take a look at this. First, of course, you want to put it together like a puzzle. So he's going to lay out all 6 tiles here, just like so. You can handle that, right?
Yeah, that part.
And now you need to decide for yourself, okay, am I going to sew them in columns first and then the 2 columns together? Or am I going to sew them in rows first and then sew the rows one to the other? I think for this example, and we're just going to do one of these today, one set. But I would say, you know what? This is your first tiling scene. Let's keep it simple. And let's sew tile 1 to tile 2. All right.
Perfect.
So let's go ahead and put these ones aside. Now, the nice thing about this, and you may remember this from the first Lunch and Learn that I talked about, but normally when you've done tiling scenes probably in the past, you know that, of course, we allow a seam allowance, and normally digitizers will stop at that seam allowance, and then you have to match things up. But what Jeanette did is she extended the satin stitch into the seam allowance, so it's easier to connect them, the two, right? But she also made sure that it was less dense as she went out from it because we didn't want bulk in the seams, all right? So let's go ahead and put these, let's see, yeah, there we go. We're going to flip these over. And what I want to do is show you, well, we'll just briefly talk about the 3 different ways you could put these together. And I think you've got some glue, you've got some, do you have some clips?
Some clips.
Some clips and maybe some pins.
Yep.
Okay. So I think we won't use the pins today, but let's take a look at the clips. Now, here, this will be easier. Let's go from here to here, and you could, of course, take a look at this, line those up, one seam on top of the other. Okay, can get any closer there. All right, there we go. And so we're going to put one seam on top of the other, and then we're simply going to clip. Easy enough, right?
It would seem that way.
It would seem that way. It would seem that way.
I know when I've done some perfectly pieced blocks, it does have perfect points except for where I sew it together because it likes to shift even if you clip it.
Right. So, definitely an option there is with clips. Another option, of course, is the old, standby. That's straight pins. Taking a straight pin there and making sure that those are aligned. But I'll tell you what my favorite method is, and this is straight from our product dev team, is the glue method. So we're using just a 505 temporary spray adhesive. Well, not spray adhesive, it's a glue stick, but you may be familiar more with 505 as a spray. This time they do have glue sticks. I think we do have some available at kimberbell.com.
We've got a few left, yeah.
A few left. If you don't use this one, you could certainly use like a washable, like a sew line. They call the company is called Sew Line. They have a glue stick. Also, even an Elmer's glue stick.
Right.
If it's washable, you could probably do that. All right. So we're going to just use this one though as our example. And you can see it's a blue color. I don't want you to freak out like, wait a minute, I don't want blue on my thing, because it is, it's going to dry clear and it's also washable. So what you want to do is just, I'm going to start here and just give it a little bit of glue on that seam line. Let's see if we can get a closer look here. Here we go. I'm just running that glue stick right along there. So go ahead. You don't want to go too far into the block itself because obviously it's not necessary. You're going to be gluing more than you want to. Oh yeah. I like the color, the blue or the purple, just because then you can see it a lot better. And now you go to match these up. And because you've got the glue, you can shift it a whole lot easier. Here, let's go to this camera. There we go. Here, I'm going to do it this way. Maybe you can see that. There we go. See, I've got the glue here. I'm just going to place it right there, one on top of the other. And once again, because well, let's open this up first. I want to double check it and see like, oh, that looks pretty good. But if I don't like where it's aligned, it's so simple to just kind of give it a little nudge here and there, right? Nudge it one way, nudge it the other way, shift it till you're feeling pretty confident that that is where you want it to be placed. Okay, let's open it again. Take a look. What do you think, Robert? That's looking pretty good, right? Okay, so we're gonna go with that. And the other thing that's going to help keep this together, now I'm feeling all self-conscious here. There we go. There we go. Is to iron the glue. So let's go ahead and take the iron. This time, you could use a pressing cloth. I'm not too worried about using a pressing cloth quite yet because there's really no glue on the outside. But if there was like a little glue seeping out, then you'd want to use a pressing cloth. And just give it, a good press for a few seconds. And doing that is going to help dry that glue and keep those seams stuck together when you go to take it over to your machine. All right, let's take a look at this. Okay, again, yep, I'm feeling pretty good about that. All right, so that's our tip. Now, eventually we are going to use a clapper when we go to flatten the seams, but right now it's not necessary quite yet. Okay, so that's feeling pretty good. Now, the other thing to note is that when you go to take it over to your machine, there's actually 3 stitch lines that you're going to see. Let me show you. I pulled up a graphic, or I'm going to pull up a graphic here for you, so that you also recognize where those what those seam lines mean. Let's see. Here we go. You're going to notice that there is 3 lines. There's the batting tack down line, all right, which makes sense. That's where you put your batting initially. You have a seam line, which I'm showing there in red, and then you have the outer line, which is the fabric placement and that trimming line that you trimmed this down to when you finished each tile. The seam you're looking for, Robert, is the seam line, and that's shown in red. So let's take a look again at yours. Yeah, that's the line that you're going to want to stitch on. Now, I know you can't see that very well in here, but there are 3 different lines that you're looking at. You want to go with that one that's just outside that tack down line.
Perfect.
Okay, so take it to the machine. The other tip is, of course, you're going to sew directly on the seam line, okay? And then the other tip is, at this point, I want you to actually lengthen your stitch on the on your sewing machine so that it is like a basting stitch. Don't back tack it, okay? Because this is kind of that extra little piece of proof to you that, okay, I've sewn it in the right place. And the nice thing is when you go to open it and you check it after you've sewn that basting stitch, you can go, oh yeah, that's spot on. I can now go back and sew it with a regular stitch. Or if it's not lined up for whatever reason, you shifted it, right? That's okay, because it would be really easy to take out the basting stitch. So
Perfect.
Are you ready?
I think so.
Okay, don't be nervous. Did you lengthen your stitch?
I have not.
Okay, let's lengthen that stitch. You're gonna go right here, length. And I'm just going to put it at the longest length, which I think is probably a 5.0. Yep, 5.0 millimeters. And again, don't do a little back tacking at all.
Okay.
Just.
And do I start on the edge or right on the line?
Good question. Yes, you're going to want to start on the edge. Good question. And while you're doing that, I'm going to see if there are any questions that you guys have. Kim says, great tip to use the basting stitch. I would have never thought of that. Well, you're welcome. That tip is thanks to our PD team, our product development team. They said, gosh, if you're worried about that, do a basting stitch first, just to double check. Okay. Yeah, Denise, you absolutely could. She says, maybe sew the seam line in a different color thread. Definitely could do that for sure. All right.
You know, Kim, I look at running the embroidery machine, like running a piece of equipment on the farm.
Yeah.
Not the sewing machine. I feel like that takes a little bit more.
Yeah. Oh. Mrs.
Right.
Come on. You're finished?
I think so.
You already did that seam line? I didn't hear the machine go. I was
ran
off
it
in my
really-
own little world,
I
I
ran
guess.
it really slow, so it wasn't making a lot of noise.
Wow. Poof, it's done. All right. Let's take a look. What do you think?
I think that looks pretty good. It's close. It's a little off.
It's a little off. It looks pretty good. You know what, Robert? I'm going to make you do it again.
Let's do it.
I'm gonna-
I don't know if we.
How's that? And you know what I'm going to do? Oh, gosh, guys. Okay. I'm
you're just
doing
gonna
it.
Go for it. Go for it.
Because I am being nitpicky. Yes, I am.
Perfect.
You know, he's my boss now. And so I'm going to really give him a bad time. Could it have worked? Yes, absolutely. But you know what? Just because I want to give you a bad time, we're going to do it one more time. How's that? Then you're
Sounds
going to
good.
show everyone that it is A-okay to have to
Start
do it
over.
again. And you saw how easy it was to just rip it out. All right. I don't follow any rules, Robert. You just do it. Okay, let's do this one more time. The team that's watching, our team back in the office is probably going, oh, you know you didn't, Kim. Oh, yes, I did. Okay, there we go. All right. We're gonna try that one more time. How hot is this? We're gonna make this super hot. All right. If I make
You must have lined it up wrong.
I
I'm
totally
sure
did.
that's what happened.
I totally did. Just because it wouldn't have been you.
It wasn't
for
my
sure.
sewing skills at all.
No. Okay. I'm gonna let that dry a little bit. All right. Let's take a look. I'm feeling much more confident about that. How about you?
I'll tell you in about 30 seconds.
Okay, but you see why that basting stitch is nice? Because
Oh, yeah.
done. All right, go ahead. I'm just allowing myself more time for comments over here. How's that? And yeah, Bernadette says, no one's going to know but you. Exactly. Come on. No one's going to know. It does not have to be perfect. I am just making Robert be absolutely perfect. Yeah, see, our team says, we are cracking up at Kim tearing these apart. Poor Robert. I know. I'm going to give him a bad time, guys. Absolutely.
I'm going to look at it real quick because I'm afraid I moved it a little bit.
I'm looking over his shoulder.
Okay.
What, are you
I'm
feeling
feeling a lot
better?
better about that
Okay,
one.
let's take a look. All right. Da-da-da. Oh, bravo, my dear student. That is perfect, right? Okay, so there we go. Yeah, you know what? Everyone's feeling sorry for you.
Oh,
I don't feel sorry for him at all. Okay, so here his seams are perfect. And now, because it is, there you go. You're going to do it again. But this time, he's going to change the length of his stitch back down to probably a 2.5, I think is 2.5 millimeters, just to a regular stitch length. He's going to sew directly on top of the line that he just did a basting stitch on.
So
and
you want me to
voila.
back stitch on this one then?
Oh, yes. And this time you're going to do a back stitch at the beginning and the end.
We're using a specific type of thread too. I don't know if we talked about it.
Oh, yeah, we did. I'm laughing. Oh, you know what? Let's see. Where did it go? Where did it go? Artina's giving me a bad time now. Good job, Robert. Sorry, Kim's teacher is showing. It's either the teacher or the mother in me. I don't know. Right. Okay, Robert brings up a good point. What thread are we using? We are actually using, now, okay, I'll back up. You don't have to use this thread, but what our team suggests is that you use an invisible thread.
Oh my gosh.
I'm a proud mama. What?
Whether it's the teacher or the mother, like I couldn't have done that on my own. So it worked.
Well,
the teaching worked.
Okay, look at that. Look at that, you guys. Perfect. Okay, so there it is. And I am just like one proud mama. I just cue the tears. All right. You did good. And now you know how to do this, and you could do the rest of it all on your own.
Honestly, I actually jokingly said yesterday, I have my blocks done. I'm ready to pretend like I'm going to finish this project.
Oh, no,
I feel like I can now.
No, you really are. No, this isn't like Extreme Home Makeover where everyone else does the work and then you
There's no TV magic. No.
Right. No, you're doing the work. Okay, so we want to press this. Okay, so we're going to press the seams open. I feel like that's going to give you the best experience when you go to sew all 6 tiles together, personally. So you're going to press the seams open. Now, you might be thinking, wait a minute, you put glue in there. So how are those seams going to open? Well, luckily, it's a wash-away glue. So if you have any problems pulling those seams apart, guess what? We've got water, and we're going to give that a nice little sprinkling, or a lot of sprinkling. Give it some good soak in there. There we go. And this is when you do want to use a pressing cloth because you don't want glue on your iron. So, you know.
I've made that mistake.
Yeah. And you might be a little nervous now because you could possibly see a tinge of blue from the glue. That's okay because that's also going to iron. Well, it's going to dry clear, but it's also going to wash out. So no problems there. Let's do a little bit more water there just because that seam is nice and thick. All right. Now we want to flatten that. We're going to use a pressing cloth so we don't get any glue on our iron. And then this is when we're also going to just give this a good, lots of heat there. And once you press this for, I don't know, about 10 seconds or so, that's when the clapper is your best friend.
Okay.
And you know what? I didn't use the clapper in my first video that I did, so I'm glad you're watching this now because I totally could have and should have. So there we go. Oh my gosh. Well, even without the clapper, that looks so good, but I'm just going to do that. And now let's put the clapper on. Just like that. It is the coolest tool ever. This is like the most, I don't know.
It's so basic, but it serves its purpose.
Totally. It's the underutilized tool of quilting, I think, is the clapper. Because let me tell you, whether you're doing seams with tiling seams or just regular piecing seams, I'm telling you, that's it, my friends, the clapper. Okay, not to be confused with this.
Right. No, the lights aren't coming on and off.
No, there's no lights. Right there. It's nice and flat. Could that seam get any flatter? I don't think so. It could
not. No, in my professional opinion, definitely not.
Look at that. That is like flat-ola. Flat as a pancake, as they say, right? That's a nice looking seam, even with the bulk that's right there. Okay. So anyway, I think that's fantastic. Yes. Day Darling says the clapper is underappreciated. I totally agree. You know, I get excited about the little things, and that clapper is one of them. Okay, so Joe Marie, she says, I get it. It would throw off my OCD. I know. Granted, I agreed. Okay, so that, looking at, are you seeing their comments? Anyway, you guys are so funny. I love it. Good job. Guys,
You didn't even have
You're
to
done.
ruler. You didn't have
You're
to
done.
wrap my knuckles or
No.
anything.
Oh, that's another
That's
use
what
for
the clapper
clappers.
should be. I'm going to put this over here. Out of the
I
way.
could have used the clapper. Be like, no,
Wrong.
do it again. All right. So that's all there is to it.
That's pretty awesome.
That's pretty awesome, right?
That's pretty awesome.
So now what you're going to do, let's go ahead. We're not going to do it.
Okay.
But just so you know, the next row would happen right there. You're going to do those two, then these two, and then so one row to the next, just like a 9-patch kind of thing, right? And there you have it. All right. So I think that is all for today. You guys really didn't have a whole lot of questions, at least not that I saw, or maybe our team chimed in. But if you do, of course, type it in and we'll go back and answer what we can. Good job.
Thank you.
Is Morgan so excited?
I know I'm supposed to be excited, but I'm really excited. I feel like I'm
This
feeling
is-
confident that I
this
can
is Rob-
actually go and finish this.
This is Robert's excitement face.
I might even bind it.
Whoa.
You have me feeling really confident.
All right. There we go. Oh my gosh. Well, everyone, congratulate Robert on a job
Thank
almost
you.
done.
Almost.
Almost
We
done.
are very close.
We might have to have you actually finish it and actually prove yourself
I know.
in the Facebook group,
Mhm.
right?
Some accountability will
Yeah.
make it happen. For
We
sure.
won't believe it until we see it, right,
Right.
guys? All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed this week's Lunch and Learn. Join me next week because Cassie and we're going to do a little, mishmash of Lunch and Learn and Craft Night together as one.
Sounds like a lot of fun, especially with you and Cassie.
You know it. You know it. We have a whole lot of fun. I'm going to bring my clapper next time and
You need
smack
it.
her on
You
the
definitely
knuckles.
need it.
I can't wait to see what she does. I'm doing something with the free design that you get for watching this series. If you haven't gotten that yet, it's not too late. We'll put the link in the notes as well. So you can download a free house design. It'll be fun. So anyway, and then she's going to do something. I don't know what she's doing, but she's doing something.
I've heard
with
it's
these.
something. I haven't seen it yet, though.
It's something. All right, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. As we go, we're going to do a giveaway. We're going to give away 2 $50 gift cards to Kimberbell.com just for making a comment in this video, underneath this video on YouTube or Facebook. We want to know, which month are you looking forward to the most? We have now shown you all 12 months of the series. Which one caught your eye? Which one are you thinking, I got to do it? I got to have it.
Mhm.
What's the next one you're going to do?
I really like the camper.
Do you?
You know what I was thinking
Yeah.
too is my parents have a camper, and
Yeah.
we could put their name on it, or established in 1980 or whatever it was.
Yes.
If they got married, I think that would be an awesome gift.
There
I
you
don't have
go.
to make all 12.
I
I could
like-
just make the one to gift.
You know what? It's really true.
Yep.
They're standalone
Oh yeah.
products themselves.
Yeah.
Some people are actually taking all 12 and making a whole quilt.
I'm being very impatient. I want to see that, and it's going to take a while till we get there. But
Yeah.
I'm excited to see it.
If you're out there, Sue and others that are thinking about doing that, I cannot wait. I'm too impatient.
Talk about an heirloom quilt.
I know.
It's going to have so much detail on it, and yeah.
Absolutely. All right. So once again, what design are you looking forward to the most? Gail says November. Let's see. Oh, you're flying through fast. Diane is saying January. Terry said that she has a new, maybe it's a great grandchild coming in December. So that's the one she's looking forward to the most. Yeah, there's going to be so many fun ones. Oh,
That's a January.
someone mentioned that they're going to make these for Christmas.
Oh, I like the July for America's 250th birthday. Perfect.
That is awesome. I'm going to be doing that one too. Well, I'm going to do all of them. They're just way too cute. All right, everyone. Well, thanks for joining us today. Join again, Cassie and I, next Thursday at the same time, noon, for a lunch and learn / craft night and mashup. It should be a whole lot of fun. So anyway, any parting words, Robert? Before we go?
I know a lot of people watching are experienced, but we have had some comments asking how hard is this to do. Try it. It is totally worth it. And then you end up with this product that looks very professional, even if you're a beginner.
Yeah.
So.
Someone mentioned yesterday, like if Robert can do it,
If
anyone
Robert
can.
do it,
And I was like, you know what? He'd be the first one to agree with you.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, for sure. All right, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. Have
you.
a great day. Keep doing what you love and keep experiencing the joy of creativity. Bye-bye.